Welcome students. You have already completed your second periodic examination. I hope that all of you have given your examination very nicely. Today we are going to start the new chapter which is called probability. So this probability chapter which we are going to do, if you take maths in further classes, you will be having the same chapter again. So you can say that this chapter is very important, and I know that you also have done this chapter in your previous classes. So the basic information, the basic knowledge of this chapter is already known to you, but still we will be discussing few important concepts regarding this chapter which will help you a lot. Actually this will all be sufficient to solve any question from the chapter probability which we are going to discuss today. So students, before starting, it's very important for you to know what is called probability. What is the meaning of probability? What does it mean? So probability is a branch of mathematics which deals with the numerical description of how likely an event can happen. Okay, so suppose you have an event. What is the chances that that event can happen? What is the probability that a particular event can happen out of total number of chances? That we call it as probability. So it's nothing but a numerical description between 0 to 1 or including 0 and 1 of how much chances are there for an event to happen. So we can indicate probability of any event E by writing just P of E. P stands for probability and E stands for event. So if you are finding in probability of any particular event, so you do find a probability of any event only. So in that case we indicate it like writing this. So you have to remember what is the numerical description of this probability. The numerical description of this probability is less than greater than equal to 0 and less than equals to 1. So probability of any event, the value of probability of any event lies between 0 and 1, including 0 and 1. So let us draw a number line to understand it more nicely. Suppose this is 0 and this is 1, and suppose this is just exactly between 0 and 1, we say as 1 by 2. So here you can see this is 0. If I give you an example, like say, what is the probability that a mountain can fly? Okay, so what is the probability that a mountain can fly? It's impossible. Never ever can a mountain fly. So we will write like probability of mountain can fly is definitely equals to 0 because it's an impossible event. It can never happen. So you can say that the probability whose value is 0 is said to be an impossible event. So this you have to keep in your mind. Let us take an example where the value of probability will be 1. Suppose if I ask you what is the probability that you have passed class 9? Students, you all are in class 10. So definitely it's quite obvious that all of you have already passed class 9 and so you are in class 10. So it's a very sure event. So this is a completely certain event. So we will write like probability of student of class 10 passing class 9 is equals to 1 because it's a completely certain. This kind of events are called certain events or sure events because this is completely sure, completely certain, and there is no percentage of incorrect in it, no wrong in it. So it's called certain or sure event. So just I have given you two examples which are indicating the values as 0 and 1. Now let us take one more example where you will understand the probability value is just exactly midway between 0 and 1. If I ask you a question, what is the probability that if I get a head, if I toss a coin? So students, when you are tossing any coin, you have total two outcomes, that is head and tail. Okay, so out of these two outcomes, head and tail, if I ask you what is the probability of getting head, so we will write like probability of getting head. You see, out of two outcomes, you are only wanting head, not the tail. So the probability will be 1 out of 2. That means total outcomes are 2 and only your favorable outcome is 1. So we write here as 1 by 2, which is 0.5. So students, these were just 3 examples of different values, but you have to keep in your mind, you can get the probability whose value can be anything between 0 and 1, starting from 0 up to 1. So this is called the range of probability. So students, from this discussion we also come to one more conclusion, that we can write the formula of probability as, P of E is equals to number of favorable outcomes by total number of outcomes. So you can see here, probability of any event is equals to favorable outcomes, number of favorable outcomes by total number of outcomes. So students, when you are finding the probability of any question or any event, you must be sure what is the total number of outcomes in it. So if you know the total number of outcomes, then you have to search for your favorable outcomes, which you have been asked in the question, and just you divide it, and the value you will always be getting will be in between 0 and 1, including 0 and 1. Okay, so these are the basic concepts of this chapter. Some more things are there which we will be discussing. Okay students, now let us take one example, and then I will come to the most important part which I am wanting to explain to you. The next important part is, suppose if I throw a dice, what is the total number of outcomes? The total number of outcomes is total 6. That means you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. So whenever you throw a dice, you can get any of the value between 1 to 6. Now if I ask you a question, what is the probability of getting 1? Okay, so probability of getting 1 is, see, out of total 6 outcomes, you have only one phase in which 1 is written. Individually you have only one phase in which 2 is written. So probability of getting 1 is total 1 out of 6. Similarly, probability of getting 2 is again 1 by 6, of 3 is 1 by 6, of 4 is 1 by 6, of 5 is 1 by 6, of 6 is 1 by 6. So students, what can we say here? We can say here that probability of 1 plus probability of 2 plus probability of 3 plus probability of 4 plus probability of 5 plus probability of 6 is equals to 1 by 6 plus 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 1 by 6 equals to 1. So the thing which I wanted to say to you by this explanation is that the sum of the probability of all the elementary events, is equals to 1. That means conclusion is, we can see, say P of E1 plus P of E2 plus P of E3 plus dot 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 P of En. Suppose you have total n number of elementary events, that will be equals to 1. So this is also something which you need to keep in your mind. So P of E1 plus P of E2 plus P of E3 plus dot 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 P of En. These are all the elementary events, and the sum of the probability of all these events is equals to 1. So this is also very important. Now one more thing you have to understand, that is called complementary events. Okay, so I think this word is very familiar to you all about complementary events, but how these complementary events are useful in this chapter, that you have to understand. See, actually what are complementary events? For example, if I say you, what is the probability of getting head if I toss a coin? So you will say that the answer is 1 by 2, because total number of outcomes is 2 and only the favorable outcome is of getting head, that is 1 by 2. So the complementary of this event, that is of getting head, is equals to probability of getting other than head, the other all events, that is other than head, that is only tail. So the complementary event of getting head is of getting tail. So you can say that the sum of the two, if P of E is an event and complementary of event E is indicated by probability of E complement, we will say this as E complement, and the sum will be equals to 1. Okay, so if I say you, if the probability of if the probability of raining today in Raiganj is 1 by 4. So what is the probability of raining? Probability of raining is equals to 1 by 4. So the complement of this complementary event of this event will be probability of not raining. So if it is raining, it is 1 by 4. So not raining, it will be 1 minus 1 by 4, that is 3 by 4. So you can say that probability of any event or E complement is equals to 1 minus probability of E, or probability of E is equals to 1 minus probability of E complement. So this also is very important, because this will help you to find, suppose if you are wanting to find an probability of certain event, but it's very difficult to find, so you can do one thing, you can find the probability of its in complement and then just subtract it by 1, you will get the required answer. So this will be useful while you solve your exercise questions. Now students, these were all the concepts which were important, which were required to solve any question related to this chapter. Now we will solve few selected questions from the first exercise. So students, here I have taken question number 12 from the exercise 15.1. As you can see there, that there is a game of chance consisting of a spinning an arrow. Okay, so this is just a spinning wheel which contains an arrow, and just on spinning it, after when it stops, it will point at any one of the number, and the number is from 1 to 8. So we are asked to find the probability of getting 8. You can see that what is the total number of outcomes? The total number of outcomes is only 8, and each sector is of equal area. So the arrow will stop at every sector is likely equal. Okay, so we say that probability of getting only 8 out of these all 8 events. 8 is only written in one of the sector out of 8 sectors. So probability of getting 8 will be 1 by 8, because total number of outcomes is total 8, that is starting from 1 up to 8, and you are only asked to find what is the chance that I will get the number 8, which is only present in one of the sector out of 8 sector. So it will be 1 by 8. Next is, what is the probability of getting an odd number? You can see what are the odd numbers in this spinning wheel: 1, 3, 5 and 7. So there are total 4 odd numbers out of total 8 numbers. So what is the probability of getting an odd number? This is of P 1, 3, 5 or 7, which is equals to 4 by 8, or you can say 1 by 2. What is the probability of getting a number greater than 2? So what are the numbers here greater than 2? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these all numbers are greater than 2. Okay. So total 6 numbers are greater than 8. That means out of 8, 6 numbers are greater than 2. It will be 6 by 8. That means 3 by 4 will be our answer. What is the probability of getting a number less than 9? You can see all digits, all numbers are less than 9 only, 1 to 8. So you can say that out of total 8 numbers, all 8 numbers are less than 9. So 8 by 8. That means your answer will be 1. So this is a sure event. So in this way you can find a probability. It's very easy. Now let us understand one more question. So student, here I have taken one more question. You can see here a box contains 90 discs which are numbered from 1 to 90. If one disc is drawn at random from the box, find the probability that it bears a 2-digit number, a perfect square number and a number divisible by 5. Okay. So what is the total number of outcomes? Total number of outcomes is 90, because in a box there are total 90 discs, and in each disc a number is written which is from 1 to 90. Okay, so there are total 90 discs in the box. So total number of outcomes, let us write that. This is very important, total number of outcomes. Otherwise we will not be able to find the probability. Total number of outcomes is equals to 90. So out of this 90 discs, the first question is, what is the probability of getting a 2-digit number? That means you know it very well that out of 90 numbers, how many 2-digit numbers are there? Just subtract 9 from 90 Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These 9 numbers are a single digit number. So total number of 2 digit numbers is equals to 90 minus 9, which is 81. Therefore probability of getting a 2 digit number disk will be equals to 81 by 90, which is equals to 9 by 10. Now the second question is, what is the probability of getting a perfect square number? Now you know what is perfect square number? You know it very well. Perfect square numbers are the numbers like 1, 4, 9, 16, which are actually square of every natural numbers. Okay, that means number of perfect square numbers between actually from 1 to 90. What are the perfect square numbers? It's 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64 and 81, because the next is 100, but you have to take only up to 90. So probability of getting a perfect square number, which will be equals to, how many perfect square numbers are there? Total 9. That means 9 by 90. Answer will be 1 by 10. And the last is, what is the probability of getting a number divisible by 5? So what are the numbers which are divisible by 5 from 1 to 90? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 up to 90. So just to divide 90 divided by 5. So numbers, total number from 1 to 90 divisible by 5 is equals to 5 is equals to 90 by 5. So there are total 18 numbers which are divisible by 5 from 1 to 90. So probability of a number divisible by 5 will be equals to 18 divided by 90, which is equals to 1 by 5. So this is your answer. So students, these are very easy questions. The basic concept is also very important, which you need to know, and then you can solve any question. Few questions you will be facing related with the concept of what we say that cards. So that concept is also very important, that we will be discussing in our Google Meet classes, as well as few questions are also related, very important, which are related to throwing of 2 dice together. So if you throw 2 dice together, then there are total 36 possible outcomes. So in relation with that 36 possible outcomes, you may be asked different kinds of questions. So that are also very important. So this type of questions we will be discussing in our Google Meet classes. So this video is mainly based on the conceptual part of this chapter, which you need to know so that you can at least solve any type of question. And further many questions are there which we will be understanding in our online classes, Google Meet classes. So students, I hope that you have all understood today's explanation very nicely. So let's end our video here. Thank you.